Have you ever noticed that some sandwiches just seem better when they're cut into triangles? Whether it's a grilled cheese at a cafe, a classic egg salad sandwich at a tea party, or the lunch your parents packed for school, triangular sandwiches have been around for generations. But here's the strange part. Cutting a sandwich diagonally doesn't change the ingredients. The bread is the same, the filling is the same, and yet many people swear it somehow tastes better. So why did this become the standard? Is it simply tradition, or is there actually a practical reason behind those neat diagonal cuts? As it turns out, the story involves centuries of dining customs, psychology, presentation, and even a little geometry. So let's uncover why sandwiches are so often cut into triangles right here on History of Simple Things. Before we can understand the triangle, we first have to understand the sandwich itself. The modern sandwich is commonly linked to John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich in 18th century England. According to the famous story, he wanted a meal he could eat while continuing to work, or possibly gamble, without using utensils. Placing meat between 2 slices of bread solved the problem, and soon others began ordering the same as sandwich. While people had been placing food between bread long before Montagu's time, his name popularized the idea in the English-speaking world. Over the next 2 centuries, sandwiches evolved into everything from hearty lunches to elegant tea-time snacks. As afternoon tea became fashionable during the Victorian era, presentation became just as important as flavor. That's when cutting sandwiches into attractive shapes, especially triangles, became increasingly common. One of the biggest reasons triangular sandwiches became popular is surprisingly simple. They look elegant. A diagonal cut instantly transforms 2 plain slices of bread into 4 sharp corners and 2 visually pleasing halves. Compared to a square cut, a triangle appears more refined, making even an ordinary sandwich seem carefully prepared. Victorian afternoon teas often featured delicate finger sandwiches arranged neatly on serving trays. Triangular pieces created an attractive pattern that looked sophisticated and inviting. Hotels, restaurants, and cafés continued this tradition, and over time, people associated triangular sandwiches with quality and hospitality. Even today, many cafes serve club sandwiches as stacked triangles secured with toothpicks because they simply look more appetizing on the plate. There's another practical advantage. The pointed corner of a triangle creates a smaller first bite. Instead of biting into a wide edge of bread all at once, you begin with the narrow tip, making the sandwich feel easier to handle. This is especially helpful for thick sandwiches filled with lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, or multiple layers of meat. Starting from the corner reduces the chance of squeezing ingredients out the sides. The shape also fits comfortably in one hand, giving you more control while eating. It may seem like a small detail, but small ergonomic improvements often become lasting traditions. Here's where psychology enters the picture. Numerous studies in food science have shown that the way food is presented affects how people experience its taste. The appearance of a meal can influence expectations before the first bite is even taken. Triangles naturally create visual interest. Sharp angles make the sandwich appear more dynamic than 2 plain rectangles. Because it looks more carefully prepared, people often perceive it as tasting better, even when the ingredients are identical. Some experiments have even found that people rate attractively plated foods as more flavorful than the exact same foods presented less appealingly. While a triangle doesn't magically improve the recipe, it can improve your eating experience. Another advantage is convenience. A diagonal cut produces two equal halves that are easy to divide between two people. At parties, picnics, and tea gatherings, sandwiches are often cut again into smaller triangles, creating bite-sized portions that are easy to pick up without utensils. This makes serving large groups more efficient while giving each guest an appealing piece. The triangular shape also allows sandwiches to overlap neatly on serving platters, creating attractive displays without taking up much space. There's also a surprisingly practical reason hidden in the geometry. When you cut a square sandwich diagonally, each half has a longer cut edge than if you sliced it straight across or down the middle. That longer edge exposes more of the colorful fillings inside. The visible layers of ham, cheese, cucumber, tomatoes, or egg salad make the sandwich look fresher and more generous. Restaurants know that people often eat with their eyes first. Showing off the filling makes the sandwich appear more satisfying before anyone even takes a bite. So, why are sandwiches cut into triangles? The answer isn't because they taste different, it's because everything around the sandwich changes. The shape looks more elegant, makes thick sandwiches easier to bite, reveals more of the filling, serves guests more conveniently, and even influences how our brains perceive the meal. It's one of those fascinating examples of how simple design choices can become lasting traditions. A single diagonal cut takes only a second, yet it has shaped cafe menus, afternoon tea, school lunches, and home kitchens for generations. The next time someone tells you a triangular sandwich tastes better, they might not be imagining it after all. Sometimes the way we experience food has just as much to do with presentation as it does with the ingredients themselves. And that's another everyday mystery explained. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.